In the last hour, a judge sentenced Nikki James to 20 years in prison with no probation. She was originally facing murder charges in the case.
But earlier this month, James accepted a plea agreement which downgraded the charges to second-degree manslaughter. WKYT's Alyssa Williams has been at the courthouse all day following those proceedings, and she's joining us there live now. Alyssa, what can you tell us? What happened today?
Yeah, it was 2 years ago that Nikki James of Lexington admitted to stabbing her two kids and killing them. But today, she finally learned just how much time she'll be spending behind bars. The judge said that James will face 20 years in prison. This comes after James's defense gave a presentation on how it says her mental illness killed James's 5-year-old daughter, Skylar Williams, and 13-year-old son, Dion Williams. Her defense team also presented findings from several psychiatrists who said James was experiencing psychosis at the time of the stabbing. They asked if James could be placed within a substance abuse recovery facility since she has a history of marijuana use, specifically one that would cater to mental health treatment as well. The judge denied this suggestion and sentenced James to the original plea agreement, which was 2 charges of second-degree manslaughter, with her serving 10 years per charge, totaling in 20 consecutive years in prison. And we actually spoke to Fayette Commonwealth's attorney, Kimberly Baird, who said this was a traumatic case for everyone involved. And of course, I'll have more on this sentencing at 6. But for now, live in Lexington, Alyssa Williams, WKYT.